Having car problems? Well, with Rhoda, getting them fixed is as easy as ordering takeout. They'll come pick up your car for free, do any repair or maintenance needed, and return it right to your driveway. They'll even give you a complimentary video inspection of your car so you can see what needs to be done. Perfect for those of us that maybe aren't so car savvy. Book your appointment online at roda.com. And lucky for you, CityCast listeners get a 20% discount on any service for up to $100 off. Just use the code CityCast20.
Today on CityCast DC, anyone who's lived in this city for more than a few months has their favorite pupusa place. It might be the first spot you tried, the one closest to you, the most affordable one you found. But how confident are you that it's actually the best? We chatted with Ana Reyes from the restaurant El Tamarindo to understand what actually makes a great pupusa. And then we taste tested them all, for science, to get to the bottom of this important question. Today is Wednesday, July 17th. I'm executive producer Priyanka Tilve, in for Bridget Todd, and here's what DC is talking about. Hi, Ana. So good to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
So we have our whole team here of amateur pupusa taste testers. So I'm Priyanka.
Hi, I'm producer Julia.
This is Kayla.
Hi, it's Ash.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, and we are so excited, but like I said, we're amateurs. We've eaten our fair share of pupusas, but we're not experts the way you are. And so we wanted to kind of get the expert perspective on what makes a good pupusa, what pupusas are all about before we embark on this taste testing journey. So for anyone who doesn't know, what is a pupusa?
Okay, so pupusas are the national dish of El Salvador. They are traditionally made with corn flour. Recently, we've gotten a little more creative with the ingredients. Some people make them out of the yuca flour or rice flour, but the traditional version is with corn flour. And the original recipe started with the revuelta, which is pork and cheese. But also, that's one of the beautiful things about pupusas, that it's a very versatile dish. You can get very creative with the fillings. But again, the more traditional ones are the revuelta, which is pork and cheese, bean and cheese, loroco, which is an edible flour. You can do spinach, jalapeno and cheese. You can do shrimp. Pretty much whatever you like.
That sounds so delicious.
So in DC, I think we know pupusas as kind of like a nice little handheld snack that you can take on the go. What's the histories of pupusas in El Salvador?
Sure. So pupusas, it's never a bad time for a pupusa. You can have it in the morning, in the afternoon, for dinner, a late night snack. It's not uncommon to see at any time of the day a lady out with her plancha, a griddle out in the street and just selling her pupusas. It's a very affordable dish, which also makes it extra popular, or just kind of part of the everyday, all-day diet in El Salvador, and now, thankfully, here as well.
Yeah, just following up on that, why do you think there are so many pupusas in DC?
Because they're delicious. Apart from them being delicious, I have a certain gratitude because our Salvadoran community has been able to share that piece of our culture and oftentimes make a living with something that they can share to the broader community and make a living off of it. And one thing that Salvadorans share in common, or part of our culture, is definitely that we're hard workers, right? So if we find something that we can make a little bit of money off and sustain our families and create an opportunity for ourselves, that's what we're going to do. And that's what's happened. And they're so delicious, so people buy them. It makes sense.
So as the expert, what is your favorite pupusa of all time?
So I can never go wrong with the revuelta, which is pork and cheese. I like also frijol con queso and loroco, which is the refried beans mixed with cheese and loroco. Something that's very important is the ratio of the masa to the filling.
Sure.
You don't want to have too much masa because then it's kind of like a tortilla with just a little hint of whatever flavor. So that's important. I like to make sure that they're nice and meaty.
So wait, what is the ideal ratio there?
It's actually, so when I'm making a pupusa, I do a 1-to-1. Another crucial part of a proper pupusa is the curtido.
Yes, we were just about to ask about that. So the curtido, just for people who are unfamiliar, is basically like a salad / coleslaw-y thing that's on the side with the pupusa, right? So you're
Yep.
saying it has to be the right amount of vinegar and like good level of spices.
Right, right. So it's like a pickled coleslaw pretty much.
Perfect.
And you have to let that sit long enough in the vinegar so that it absorbs the flavors. And also visually, it has to have like enough carrots and the red onions and the cilantro, all of that. Even before you take that first bite, you're already just kind of craving it because it's so beautiful.
Okay, so we are going to go and rate these pupusas. We're going to try revueltas because that's what you recommend as the traditional one that's worth trying. And we'll judge it on the masa to filling ratio. We'll judge the curtido on if it's like spiced well and vinegary enough. Is there anything else that you think we should be rating the pupusas on during this test?
The salsa de tomate, you want to make sure that it's nicely balanced, that
Okay.
you have the flavors are there, that the texture is not there. Some places make it very watery. I like it to be
A little substantial.
a little substantial. Yep. So you can almost taste like the pieces of the tomatoes that have been liquefied.
Oh my God, this makes me so hungry. Okay, well, I think that is all we need to be well prepared. Is there anything else you think we need to know?
Just enjoy. I appreciate you guys spreading the word about pupusas, and whoever hasn't tried them, you're missing out, man. You gotta
We'll try them after this for sure.
jump on the bandwagon.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, El Tamarindo was our first stop, so we will be stopping by soon.
Beautiful. Enjoy, guys.
Let's be real, lawsuits are not fun, but with Paulson & Nace, at least they're a little easier. Paulson & Nace is a DC law firm in every sense of the word. It was founded here in 1979. Partner Chris Nace is a local who cares deeply about the DC community, even serving on the board of the local branch of the Living Classrooms Foundation in his free time. Nace and his associates Samantha Peters and Maya Perry handle medical malpractice, wrongful death, and other complex injury cases. And they don't just settle every case. They'll go to court. They'll fight for you. Paulson & Nace has even been recognized as one of U.S. News' best law firms. So if you have been hurt or lost a loved one because of someone else's mistake or negligence, call Paulson & Nace for a no-obligation consultation. Visit www.paulsonandnace.com. That's PAULSONANDNACE.com. Or call 202-463-1999.
Okay, so these are the El Tamarindo pupusas. We've gotten the mini pupusas. We got 4 and they cost $10 with tip. It's basically like the size of the average like palm. Like a palm of a hand.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
They are.
They're so tiny.
These look very cute. Also, you can see that they have, it looks like almost a little bit of the cheese like exploded out and it looks crispy. And I'm very hungry. I did not eat breakfast in preparation. All right, so I just ripped this open. One thing Anna told us about was the proportion of the masa to the actual filling. And this looks pretty close to 1-to-1. I'm going to eat. Well, the crunch is good.
I feel like this is a more colorful curtido than maybe I've seen in the past.
I kind of like the curtido as like a in-between bite to kind of like cleanse your palate.
I'm doing more of like a taco style.
Yeah. I don't know whether to use my fork or my hands, to be honest.
All right, so it is rating time. So as a reminder, we are rating on masa to meat ratio. We're rating the curtido on its spiciness, vinegariness, and we're rating the salsa on its texture and flavor. So let's do the pupusa first as the, substance of the thing.
Out of 5, correct?
Yep, 1 to 5. What would you rate the pupusa?
I feel like this is a 4.5. Strong showing. I do like the crispy outside. I like the melty inside. It's kind of like a French fry. There's enough meat. It's flavored well. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I think I'm also going with a 4. I think it's almost perfect. I wish there was a little bit more of a different texture between the masa and the filling. But I am a real fan of the little cheese on the outside. Hits the spot.
Yeah, I'm also going to go 4. It was a ratio thing. Definitely could have maybe had a little bit more meat in there, but Flavor-wise, it was popping. And yeah, the crispy cheese, come on.
It is so good. Okay, next up is the curtido. What would you rate this vinegary salad, coleslaw, pickled coleslaw thing?
It's like a 3.5. I think there could actually be a little less like chili pepper and a little more like vinegar acid. Because the revuelta is so unctuous and like cheesy and porky and rich, you need kind of, I think, a little more vinegar to cut through and not just spiciness.
You know, I can go with actually 4.5. I think it's really good. I think it's the right amount of heat. It's really crunchy. The only thing I wish is that it was like, soaked in the vinegar, like pickled a little bit longer. It has a little bit of like a raw cabbage taste, I suppose, but it's not a bad thing.
I will say we got here at like 11:05 and they open at 11 a.m. So I wonder if it might be like that it's super, super fresh. And maybe if you come later in the day, the curtido is more pickled. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4. I really like the spice level. I like the acidity. I'm definitely going heavy on the curtido in every bite. So it's important. And I think this one held up pretty good.
Okay, well then last we've got the salsa, the tomato salsa. How would you rate that?
Well, it's seasoned well. There's real chunks of tomato in it. It's not super spicy. I think it's like a basic good topper. I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, on taste test alone, super tomatoey.
Not very spicy.
Not very spicy.
So it's more like a tomato sauce than a salsa.
It's adding some sweetness. Yeah, I'll give that a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
I think it's an important part of the
It balances
the
with the
trifecta
acidity.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to toss one more surprise ranking system in, bang for your buck. So a reminder, we got 4 mini pupusas and it was $10 with tip. That averages out to like $2.50 each. How full are you? How much do you think this was worth?
I'm pretty satisfied. I know that they're larger pupusas. I know you can get a deal of 3 of them for $10. That is insane. Bang for your buck. So if you're balling on a budget, at least a 4.5 out of 5.
I'm going for a 5 out of 5. Bang for your buck. I think it's great. I mean, I think 2 of these could make like a good breakfast, something like that. That's so $5. That's, you get like a whole tub of salsa. It's a great deal.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4. I feel like maybe we'll see some spots where you can get a full pupusa for the same price.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll go 4 and we'll see if we can find some deals along the way.
Next up is El Rinconcito. So let's see.
Go.
Let's go.
All right, we're headed up to El Rinconcito in Columbia Heights.
Mm-hmm. The stomach levels are, how are we feeling?
Stomach levels are, I'm like sitting about 30 to 40% full, I would say.
Ooh, okay, so.
But I will say that I am lactose intolerant and I did forget lactate, so it is starting to hit
Right.
just a little bit.
This car's about to be a war zone.
No,
She's returning with the pupusas. All right, much smaller bag than last time. That's a good sign for our stomachs, specifically mine.
will it be a good sign for our taste buds too? Unclear.
Okay.
Ooh, I like the crispiness on that.
It's very yellow curtido.
Which looks like the salsa is on the curtido.
What's the spice that's yellow?
Turmeric?
Turmeric.
Probably.
Is there some turmeric in there?
I think so. I think yes.
I feel like the proportion on this is a little better on first glance. Like it looks like this is stuffed more.
I will say visually it does look very appealing.
It's not as crispy as the previous one.
Yeah, the curtido is more mild, less vinegary, a little more sweet.
Okay, so for ratings, first up is the masa to meat ratio, like the pupusa itself. What are y'all thinking?
I'm going 4.5 out of 5. I definitely felt a little meatier. I think, Julia, you're right. The proportioning was better on this one. Maybe that's because it's a full size.
I actually kind of want to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Whoa.
This is controversial yet brave, but I actually think because the other one was stuffed less, this isn't as crispy on the outside. And so that texture contrast is lacking. It's all kind of mushy. But the flavor of the pork is there, and the cheese is really good, and the masa tastes really good. It's like a 3.5.
I think the flavor of this one is better than the other one. Like the meat and the cheese filling just has more going on. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I like that kind of
Mushy.
soft,
Yeah.
mushy baby food texture. I got to say, I'm kind of a sucker for that. And I do think the ratio is nice. It kind of like spills out and gushes out. I love that. 4.5.
Okay, so next up is the curtido itself. What are your thoughts?
For me, 3. It's not acidic enough. It's got some good salt. I don't know. Maybe there's less vinegar or something. It's not really giving me the fresh punch that you kind of need to like cut the cheese and the pork. Yeah, I'm going 3.
This is like a 2 for me. This is like verging on like really sad limp cabbage that you get at a cookout, where it's like it's kind of covered in vinegar, but not really. It doesn't really cut the fattiness and the cheesiness of the pupusa, which I feel like is the goal.
Yeah, I'm also going like a 2. It's flavorful, but it's not acidic enough, punchy enough to really compete with the rest of the pupusa. And I feel like that's really what I want.
Okay, what about the salsa? Scale of 1 to 5?
I feel like the salsa, again, is kind of like a 2 for me. It's pretty one note. It's just kind of like mashed, like tomato.
Right. It feels like the last one in that it's like super, I mean, we're seeing a trend here. This is probably just what it is, but it's like super tomatoey, but less pop and sweetness than the last one. Maybe that's because it's mixed in, but not doing it for me. 2, I guess.
Okay, last category. So these were 2 revueltas. They were definitely bigger than the mini pupusas because they're full size revueltas. So like it's like the size of a full hand, not just a palm. But both like 2 together, it was again $10. So thoughts?
Yeah, that I feel like that's pretty standard. The bang for the buck is like a 4.
Yeah, I feel like it's a 4 for me, but still a good deal.
Yeah, I'll go slightly less of a good deal. So 3.5, I guess. Partially because of the curtido situation.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like a lot of places give you a lot, and this was a measly little portion. So
it was a little measly.
It was a little measly, and I like to pile it up. So 3.5.
Okay, and next up we are heading to Gloria's.
We're outside Gloria's. We're unboxing.
One singular small box.
Oh, big pupusas though.
The big pupusa.
This one is definitely the greasiest looking by far.
It looks like the cheese is exploding out of it. Like it looks like the masa like cannot contain it. Oh yeah. Yeah, this one's really good.
Y'all sound like you're in heaven. Okay, let us begin. So first up, does the ratio live up to the look of it, Julia?
This is a 5, straight up. Best pupusa we've had. The texture is like kind of crunchy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. There's enough meat in there. The masa tastes really good. I'm into it. 5, for sure.
Me, well, we said it was greasier, which I do love. Good cheese flavor. I do think it was slightly less meat than the last one for me, but I'll go 4. It was really good.
I'm going to go at 4.5. I think it's less oozy. Like the cheese is not like gooey and oozy like the other ones is. It's more like crispy and crunchy on the outside. And then there's the meat on the inside, which makes it a different texture, which I really like. But I do think like the 0.5 off is just like the flavor isn't quite as delicious as the what was the other one we went, which is not too? El Tamarindo was.
Yeah, no, it felt like very cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
Like
every bite was the same, and it was good.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, next up is the curtido. What are your thoughts?
I think it hiding under the pupusa like wilts it and makes it warm. I don't know, man. I still think El Tamarindo's curtido is the best one. This is like a 2 or a 3. The limp cabbage thing, I can't get behind it, guys. I can't.
Yeah. I'll go 3.5 because it's better than the last one. So I have to stay consistent. It's got enough acidity or more. But yeah, I think like we said, the fact that it was on the bottom and it's like, it's not giving you the cold. Like the temperature is important here, I think, as well. And yeah, I'll go 3.5.
I think this pupusa is a little bit more greasy than the other ones we've tried. And I really did want that like acidic kick. I think I would give it about a 3. Yeah, a little bit warm, a little bit limp. Does the job, but not more than.
Okay, what about the salsa? 1 to 5.
This one has like a smokiness maybe that we haven't had before.
Or like a roasted tomato flavor versus just like straight tomato.
And I will say
I
on
like
my
it.
first bite, unlike any of the other ones, I was like, there's the tomato sauce, in a good way. So I'll give this one a 4.5.
All right, well then we've got one last category. You know what it is? The cost effectiveness. These were 2 pupusas, normal size, so full hand sized, and it was $6.
Ooh, that's a 5.
That's
Five.
a 5.
Straight up.
That's a 5.
5.
That's a great freaking meal.
5.
Yeah.
If you are balling on a budget, this is it. This is it.
Okay, that was Gloria's. Now we're off to Petworth to try Mary Bar and Grill.
How are we feeling?
I'm feeling substantially more full, I'm not going to lie.
I'm sitting still at about 40%.
I think I jumped from, what did I say, like 15, 20 to like 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
I'm at
We got
like
3 more.
I think we need to maybe not eat even the full half.
Yes.
like a quarter.
Like a
It's so
quarter.
hard. Once I like take my first bite, I
know.
like black out. It's like start.
Yeah. So this is from Mary.
Mary Bar and Grill, and it self-defines as a Tex-Mex spot, so not what you would expect to get for pupusas, but we are trying this because our sales rep, Mark Kokowski, says these are his favorite pupusas in the city. So, high praise, and now we get to judge Mark.
I trust Mark. I believe.
Quarters, please. I can't handle a half for myself.
Yeah, we're switching down to quarters here, folks.
Meat sweats are real.
Ooh,
all right.
Looking crispy.
These came right off the grill. They are hot. It doesn't look like there's a ton of meat in there, though.
I feel like I've yet to look at one and been like, this is a lot of meat.
Is there meat in this, guys? Am I an idiot?
I think it's shredded very finely.
That curtito really hits. This one's really bright and acidic. And the tomato on top really, really helps.
Very crispy, though.
That is a good cortito.
Yeah, the curtito is bomb.
What do you think of the pupusa itself in terms of meat to masa ratio?
Not a lot of meat on this one. That said, I also kind of don't miss it. The cheese is really melty. And these, you could tell they were hot off the griddle. They were crispy and crunchy. But I don't know, man. If I get a revuelta, I kind of want some meat. So 3.5, even though I think the rest of it is really, really, really good.
I don't know. Yeah, not a lot of meat. It was really crispy. I almost feel like the masa or something was seasoned. Yeah. Just because I was still getting flavor. I'm going to go can I go 3.75?
I think I'm going to go 4. I feel like, the main flavors you're getting are from the masa and from that burnt, salty cheese flavor, both of which are delicious, but there really wasn't much meat to be had, especially compared to the other ones we've had. But that being said, it's an enjoyable experience. So
okay, next up is curtido. I know it's hard to separate the curtido and the salsa since they're one on top of the other. If you need to taste a little bit more, sample some more,
I do need to taste
have
a little
at
more.
it. But let's do the curtido first. What are your thoughts?
It's really good.
Ooh, I think the best we've had.
Really?
It's up there with El Tamarindo for sure. It's a little bit more
soupy,
wilted. It seems like it's been sitting longer. It doesn't look as fresh, like we were saying. They might have just made that. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all. It's the flavors have really had their time to pickle up.
This is all about trade-offs, right? It's if you pickle it too long, then the texture gets wilty. But if you don't pickle it enough, the crunch is really there. But for flavor, the flavor of this is really, really good.
Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah, I'm a pickle fiend. I'm going 5.
Yeah, I'm a picklehead too. 4.5.
Time for the salsa. What are your thoughts?
I didn't like the salsa. I think it was really watery and bland, to be honest. I feel like it's a 2 for me.
I'm gonna go 3.5. Just had a little bite of it by itself there. It wasn't charred like the last one. It definitely went for the fresh tomato, but not giving a lot of sweetness. Not the worst one we've had, but not the best. So 3.5.
I feel like together, both the curtido and the salsa were really good, but separate, they're kind of not great. This was for me like a 2.5, 3 on the salsa. Sorry.
Okay, so then last one, the cost effectiveness. So these 2 pupusas, normal sized, full hand sized, came out to $10 with tip, which is the same as El Tamarindo and pretty much the same as El Rinconcito as well.
Yeah, I think nothing is going to beat Gloria's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So,
it's
we gave the other ones 4 or whatever.
Yeah, we gave the other ones 4s.
4.
We're staying consistent.
4. Yeah.
So this is Judy's, and one of my friends who is an avid listener, so I'm sure she's listening to this. This is her favorite pupusa spot, so I am excited for y'all to judge it. I was very curious because they gave us a salsa verde this time.
Oh. That
So-
could
I
like to
bring
hear.
us back to life.
Yeah.
This is the cheesiest one.
I'm very intrigued by the salsa verde, though. I'm a salsa verde lover. We're dipping.
Ooh, spicy. Be
It's really
careful.
spicy. Hold on.
Oh, that's spice. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let us begin while we continue chomping. First up is the meat to masa ratio and the substance of the pupusa itself. What do you guys think?
So this one's really different than Gloria's that I rated a 5. Gloria's was thinner. This is fatter and chunkier, but lot of meat, lot of cheese, kind of greasy, but I'm into it. 4.755. I like it.
I'm going 4.75 too. Only thing holding back is this could be my stomach talking at the end of the day here, but
It's possible.
multiple of those might be a bit much.
Oh, yeah.
But for the straight up one, cheesiest one we've had for sure. Got that nice cheese grease a la big piece of pizza. Yeah, and very meaty. and rich. And yeah, 4.75.
I feel like I'm going a little lower. I'm going like a 4. I really liked how they had like big chunks of meat in there. That was delicious. I think it was so greasy and like cheesy. It was like not as like you couldn't really taste the masa flavor as much, which I really like. But it was good. It was good.
Next up is the curtido. What do you think?
4.5. Really crunchy, really acidic, really cut through the greasiness of that pupusa, which boy did it need it.
A lot of oregano.
Yeah.
In this one.
That's good. It gives the pizza vibes, I think.
I'll go 4.5. Really acidic, definitely on the picklier side. It was a nice mix-up in this. Like, I feel like I didn't taste oregano at all, and I feel like that's a big part of the curtido in the last one. So this one with a bunch of oregano, it was yummy.
I'm going 4.5. I feel like I say this every time, but I feel like it was my favorite. It was crunchy but pickly, which I feel like is a hard balance. Lots of different veggies going on in there, different spices. It has a much more interesting flavor profile than the previous ones we've had, which have been like mostly just cabbage and vinegar. So yeah, really like that.
And this one comes in a bag too.
Which
So it
is
doesn't get the
fresh.
stuff soggy. True. Like this curtido, boy, did this pupusa need it. Nice and acidic. Solid 4 to 4.5. Yeah, 4.25. Splitting the difference.
Nice. First
Getting a little
4.25 of the
splitting
day.
hairs here, aren't we?
No, I love it.
I hope you really are. Okay, next up is salsa. We've got 2 salsas this time, which we've never had before.
The red.
Wait,
I
what
think
was the red?
The
Try
red
the
is
red.
mixed
Oh.
in with the curtido, but no, I think
Oh.
you literally cannot separate them out, and I think that should just be counted as part of the curtido.
Yeah, I
And I think we
agree.
should count the salsa verde as the salsa because that's what they handed
Yeah,
over to
I
us
agree.
as the salsa. We did not order this separately.
And it was yummy.
So, yeah, what do you guys rate it?
I'll give it a 5 because we hadn't gotten it anywhere. I've never gotten a pupusa and gotten green salsa before. Yeah.
I'm going 5 too. I'm
For
going 5.
novelty,
I think,
if anything else.
yeah, it had that nice kick of spice, which really needed with these greasy pupusas. And it had just a freshness that the tomato ones didn't have. So
Yeah, dear every pupusa joint in DC, start serving your pupusas with salsa verde because this one's really good. And let me tell you, I actually think it stands up better to the pupusa itself because it's spicy and acidic as opposed to the tomato, which is just kind of limp in there. 5, for sure. For sure.
Something to learn, too. If they don't give it to you, ask for some salsa verde when you get pupusas.
Okay, last up, we've got the costliness. These were the most expensive pupusas we have had yet, but, not by much. The 2 massive pupusas, very filling, and they were $12. Or like $11.60, something like that.
I don't know. I mean, I just think Gloria's are like on par and like
Right.
so,
and
half
half
the
the
price.
price.
Yeah.
Right.
So like they're good, but I think bang for your buck, it's like, a 3.
Yeah, I'll go 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, my stomach hurts, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, vibes
getting a
are
little-
very
vibes are
low right
low.
now. The team is struggling.
The tryptophan hit, and I think we all need a nap. All right. Last one, guys.
Last pupusa.
Last pupusa.
Ooh, okay. So having just cut this, I immediately have thoughts about the meat to masa ratio, and I'm really curious about what y'all think. This is from La Casita and La Cosecha, which is the Latin food hall near Union Market. Masa to meat ratio. Where are you guys at?
I think the ratio is good. Give it like a 3.5. There was it felt like a lot of meat and a lot less cheese. I don't know. It's a little weird. 3.5.
Definitely less cheesy
Yeah.
of the ones that we've had.
I feel like
for
that makes
sure.
it less heavy though, which I
Mm,
like.
Makes it
that's
less
true.
heavy. I'm
I
going
could
4 or
eat
5,
a lot.
dude.
Yeah, I'm going 5. I could eat like
Yeah,
4
yeah.
of these in a row and like not
Dang.
feel bad.
Yeah, 4.5. It's like lighter in a good way. Filling to masa, I feel like this is the most I've been like, there's meat in this for sure. Of any of them.
Interesting. Okay. What about the curtido?
Banging. Not enough of it. That's my complaint.
Yeah.
You
not
only get
enough.
a small cup of it. Maybe like a quarter cup.
Very itty bitty baby cup of it. Flavor is pretty solid, like a 3.54, 4. That's what I go with.
I'm going with a 4.5. I think the pickle on it is really nice and the crunch on it is really nice. No weird flavors going on. Pretty straightforward.
There's a nice balance of pickle and fresh, I feel like. It's the most like the first one, right?
Most
The-
crunch.
Tamarindo one, where it's like, it seems fresh, but I'm also getting some pickle. Yeah, I'm going 4 or 5.
Okay. What do y'all think of the salsa?
Salsa was fine. I think after I had that salsa verde, every other salsa
Yeah.
kind of is not good. In terms of the salsas, This one I thought was solid. Not too like watery. Had a real fresh tomato flavor in it. Salted pretty well. I don't know. I'd give it like a 4.
It's a fresher one. It's not smoky.
No.
All of these sauces like remind me more of like a tomato sauce, like a pasta sauce, than it is like a traditional salsa, like you'd see in a grocery store.
Yeah, this one's fine. I'll give it a 4.
I'll give it a 3.5. Yeah, I thought it was fine. Not adding much though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in the end, this one cost about $12.20.
For two?
For the two pupusas.
Is that the most expensive?
Yeah, I mean, but not by much.
I think for me, these pupusas are also smaller than the other ones where they cost $10 to $12. So like you are getting less bang for your buck. In terms of like price range, I don't know, 3.5, 4.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah, I think 3.5. I think this one was like, you also take into account maybe the seating arrangement. Like this one has some nice seating. It's in La Cosecha. Like if you want to be eating, sitting,
And I'll shout the La Casita in Tacoma Park, Silver Spring is a full-on restaurant. Some great seating there. And more flavors of pupusa, I want to say at that one too.
Yeah, 3.5.
3.5.
Okay, so our final rankings are Judy at the top with a 4.2.
Wow.
Woo! Gloria's and Tamarindo at 4 points each. We've averaged these scores, obviously. And then La Casita has 3.95, so just behind him, followed by Mary Bar and Grill at 3.75, right behind that. And then Rinconcito was a little bit lower at only 3 points. So that is
3 points.
last.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
To be fair, though, to get a 3 out of 5 is still not very bad.
Right.
Yeah, we had high standards.
And we were splitting hairs, it feels like.
We really were, yeah.
This.
We're splitting hairs. To be fair, I think if you go to any of these places and you love any of them, tell us. Also, like, all of these pupusas are very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Also, if there's any that we missed that you think we should have included, send those our way too, and we will go and do a rating if we can and let y'all
Round
know.
2, baby.
Oh, yeah. In 2 years.
I need like a second stomach if we're
Nah,
going to
dude,
do
I'm
that.
good. Let's go.
All right. Well, this was really fun. Kayla, Ash, Julia, thanks for doing this with me.
Thank
Anytime.
Thank you.
That is all for today here on CityCast DC. We are still suffering from the meat sweats, I'm not going to lie. But if you have other pupusa spots that you want us to try, hit us up. You can email us at dc@citycast.fm and send this episode to your most pupusa-loving friend. We want to hear from all of the self-proclaimed experts. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye!